want to share my personal story with you guys, and hopefully, in this story, all of us will be able to relate how I transitioned from a blue pill, living in the corporate world, and I did that for 20 years. And after that, how I moved on to a startup and why I did that. But more than why today is the question of how I prepared for it, and I'm now living a red pill life. Now, most of us, and specifically me, I lived all my life in fear, not chasing my dreams. And that's how I got to the corporate world. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, but I've seen as a child the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, and that made me fearful. And when I got an offer from a global bank after my CA, I just rapidly took it, and nothing wrong with it. I had a fantastic journey. I learned a lot. I lived uh, overseas for 15 years, and traveled the whole world. But something was missing. I was not living my dream. And that realization does happen when you are at a point of your career where you are starting to become one another cog in the wheel. Uh, I felt I created this, but came 2008, I saw all the people who were very hardworking, dedicated, they were let go. And they were very proud about their institution which they worked in. And still today, they call, or when we speak, we say we created that. But the organization didn't realize that that happened, and overnight their dreams were shattered. So I continued for a little longer, all the way down till 2014-15, when I was still living in Hong Kong. But the question in my mind kept coming back: if that can happen to those talented people, how long will I have time to continue in a corporate world, and will the axe come down to me? So I said, I'm overall very passionate person. I like to build things, and I built many things which I still call mine in a large world. But hey, in that large world, the brand of that company is more important. And I said I have to build something in the financial services world. I've learned a lot from the organization I've worked for 20 years. So I took three steps. First, I spoke to my family, and I mean family means not only my immediate family, my extended family, and specifically my father and my mother, uh, my wife, my child, my only son who was almost getting to college. And you know, college is a large expense. So all that was done, and they gave me a thumbs up. In fact, my father said, as they say in Hindi, "De rahe justai," because you are a family of entrepreneur. Where were you in the banking world? Come back and do business. So that was number one. Two, when you leave corporate world, the HR headhunters get to know about it. They keep chasing you. So what I did was I pulled all of those contacts out. I pulled out another contacts of my friends, colleagues who were very close to me, and I think they must have run into 400, 500 people. And I sent them an email saying I'm doing a startup of my own. And this is what I'll achieve in the next 30 days. Now, they didn't ask me, but I needed somebody to keep myself true. And some came back saying, congratulations. Some said, hey, don't spam me, delete it. All that happened. But what it gave me was sense of purpose. And I could every 30 days go back to those friends and people and write to them that I've done this. This is still pending. And my first 120 days journey was all alone, frankly. So that kept me going. Third was I knew one thing I've learned in being a large corporation was nothing works like an Excel spreadsheet. Very, very rarely you get your Excel projections right. And in a startup world, you frankly learn that you really have very little control of anything uh, compared to a large corporate where you have a lot of control, you have a lot of resources available. Here, you are the resource and you have little money, and uh, time is also constrained. Everything is there. So I had to cut down on lifestyle like crazy. And that time I was living in Hong Kong. So we had to relocate from the heart of the city to a suburb about 40 minutes away and continuously manage our lifestyle to a point where we were comfortable but not extravagant because there was no salary coming exactly on 25th or 26th of the month. In fact, it was the other way around. I had a team in India, had a team in Hong Kong, and I had to make sure that I had enough money in my bank account to pay those guys on the first of the month. So the transition from a blue pill corporate world to the red pill, the startup world, uh, tough but very fulfilling. When I came back to India, nobody knew the brand Monexo. Nobody knew Mukesh Bubna. I was out from the country for 15, 16 years. But every partner we signed up, every customer we enrolled, I can tell them that's mine. It's not somebody else's. And now I have a team. And each of them during this COVID time has lived like a family with us, right? And they're all back in office today and working with us. Uh, this pleasure you can't get in the corporate world. You can. I'm not saying you cannot. Some people do get that, and there's nothing right or wrong about red pill, blue pill. But for me, it's been a very fulfilling journey. And we can see every day ourselves making progress. We're building up literally a virtual bank or a new bank, as they call it. But we started from the other way around. Most neobanks start with building a saving account where they pay extra interest. No, we started with the core product called loans. And that too, we are disrupting with peer-to-peer lending, so like a mutual fund. Uh, we are far from where we want to be. All the Excel projections are wrong. We have lived in a drought of capital raise, but we have survived. We are resilient. We find ways to move forward every day. We've launched new products. We have done new partnerships during COVID time. And that's what gives you the highs and their lows. Again, a day is like up and down 25 times. You may feel like giving up 20 times and 5 times you hit the highs, but it's still worth it. So, whatever works for you. But when you decide to take a red pill, do get your families, friends together. Talk to them because they will be your biggest support and your co founders. That's all I had to share in this series of MBA shots. And in the next time, maybe we'll talk more about the real journey and the red pill side.
Awesome. I'll just pause the recording.